Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowTown here in City Skylines, where last episode guys, we finally implemented the beginning of our farming industry. We pretty much got it set up to the point where it's up and running, we're producing crops, we've got the animal products, and at the moment we're not producing any flour. But that is all going to change today as we take a look at ramping up the production to get it on its feet. We've kind of given it some time right now so we can see where all the issues are currently lying so we can fix them in this episode. And we can set up too the exportation areas nearby. And that is the shipping industry and the train industry to get those goods out of here or exported all over SnowTown to different places wherever they require them. So if you guys have been enjoying SnowTown and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. But this is what we built last episode. It is beautiful. Oh my goodness me, all over the place right now. We have all of our crop buildings right now, a couple of little storage areas, got a few little issues, not enough buys for the goods, and that is literally down to the fact that we haven't fully utilized the farming industry just yet, so hopefully we can change that today. We have our animal pastures over here, which are using the crops to make animal products, which then eventually get sold. As it stands right now in the whole industry, it's all our own production. All of it is crops. We don't have any flour just yet. A little bit of output from the normal crops. Animal products, making 20 Gs. We're actually doing pretty good in terms of money. Now, I've only kind of left it to this because I wanted to see where the issues fall, where we can ultimately see where the majority of the traffic wants to go and this, that, and all that kind of jazz. And I want to try and implement first, before we do our shipping lanes to kind of export the goods, I want to first add the trains in. Because by adding the trains, not only can they export the goods via train, which is, again, beautiful, we can also set it up where, you know, all these crops can be, you know, taken to the animal section over here, the farm, the pastures, via train, thus reducing some of the vehicles driving to it, if that makes sense. I'm hoping I can kill two birds with one stone. It's not going to solve everything, but it'll alleviate some of the issues. Now, before we do that, there's a few little things I can do for the roads, and that is putting some of them asymmetrical roads, like a 2 and a 1 laners, which we got here, 2 and a 1 lane. Now, reason for that is, if I do it, if I go to the right side, flip it that way, is because the traffic coming out is where we see the majority of the vehicles on this junction coming out of here. So what I can basically do is, as the vehicle's coming out, have one that goes that way, and obviously one that goes this way. You come into there, you go into there, you go straight ahead. You see what I mean? Now, it's not going to solve a lot of the issues, but it kind of alleviates the backlog that we had originally here. So if you wanted to turn left or right, you had to be in the same lane. At least now we can separate the two lanes. And these guys turning right haven't got to wait for the traffic turning left. So hopefully that kind of works out a little bit. I can do the same thing over here as well, which is what we're going to do right now. There we go. So I wonder if I kind of do the quick short key. No, it doesn't work like that. So we throw that over there. We allow this to go down to there. And that is pretty much how it all kind of gets handled. Now, do we add one over here? I know this is more of a side road kind of style at the minute. And it's traffic coming in and out all the time. So I'll leave that one and see what kind of happens as time goes on. But that one should alleviate some of it. It doesn't solve all the issues. But now we can focus on the trains. Boys, the trains. So, right. Let's think about this logically then. We have over here greenhouses as well. So they bring crops to the animal products. So I think they're okay in a sense as I don't need to kind of ship goods from there to there via train. It's more here to there to ship the goods. Now, so what I'm thinking of is we get the cargo train and rather than pull it here, because it'll make this road filled with traffic, to stick it over here. Do you reckon that's a good way of doing it? Or do I make a smaller road? Let's say Why can I not lead a road into that? Oh, there we go. I came down by 5. Right, so just bear with me a second. Just bear with me a hot minute. And can I fill it in there instead? Yes. So if I pull it here, but I'm going to bring it up a bit more. That way I get the train tracks running almost... What's going on with this? Oh, that. How is that deselected? I will never know. Right, let me just bring that up to there as well. So I'll reconfigure all this in just a moment. So it allows me to place the train station, 1, in this vicinity, 2, off this road, so the vehicle kind of section is on here, but then separate from this bit, so the normal traffic flying through doesn't get caught up on it. We'll see how it goes. We'll ultimately see how it goes. But I could create a one-way system going in, so they're not going back and forth, you know, tripping over one another. Again, like I said, we'll see what happens. But it allows me then to use the train tracks to initially elevate this up. So we'll come out by... We'll come out to... Well, it doesn't really matter, really, does it? Because I can angle it anyway. So if I come out by 10, it allows us to pass through. And let me just pause, because I'm going to delete some of those power lines right now. We'll keep it all elevated going directly over. So I can get the goods from over here shipped directly out. Now we want another stop around this area. And I'm thinking about having it bypass all of this and then lead down into this area. So again, we're not tripping over one another. And then have another cargo station here that kind of comes out and then goes that way, but can also connect into there if needs be. Yeah. So, back with the road situation right now. That's going to come across there. So if anything, I would kind of need that there to be the road the train station is on. Because that is the perfect line where I haven't got to do any bends. It's pretty much a straight track, which is actually pretty sweet. So if I brought that down to there and that to there. And I'll see what happens with the traffic. We'll see what happens. But I can get a train station just here. Right, and then this elevated all the way over and through now, which we will probably have to anarchy this to there. Take the anarchy off and drop it down. So it literally just passes over. It waves goodbye to the cows and pigs and all that kind of jazz. But it's a standard straight line. A standard straight line like that. We'll elevate that as well. Just so then I can select, let's bring this up a bit. And we'll select these 3 here and slope them. So there's a more gradual incline leading up to it. And the same on the other side too. So bring this one down. And then select you. So do it by the 3. Nice. So from the get-go, we could just leave it to that. And it will kind of get goods to the train station there, ship them via train all the way over. They'll drop off there and then kind of go in that direction. But I would want to create this in a one-way road as well. So if I brought this down. Now the thing is, we can't do a one-way road in this style of road. We have to then do it one lane, one way. I could do... What's this here? Oh, it's got bicycle lanes on. We'll have to go for this like normal industrial style road. So if I led them... Oh, hang on, I'm elevating it all. Wait, why won't it upgrade? Right, there we go. So it comes in this way and then goes out this way. I actually could do it as a normal one road. But is that a bit too much? You reckon? Nah, that should be fine. Because they're going to come in and then drive out that way. And it's then up to them what they want to do. But I could ultimately make this a little one-way system. We'll see where the chips fall on this. We'll see what ultimately what just happens. Because I don't fully know myself what is going to happen, to be honest with you. And if I go back to the normal roads... just here. So if I bring this down, to there, which will allow this to create a connection just here. And then I'm going to want to set up a road. So if I went like this to there, so it kind of creates like a little bypass road. But this road here could be used as the other train station. But I feel like I would want it to maybe be attached like going straight down instead. So they can all drive down here. But the side of the road that will be on coming down here is the other side. So we attach it there maybe. Which you might be thinking, yo, Seniac, they're very close. But in terms of driving, they got to go around the Recon. So these guys over here just simply travel down here, because it's quicker than getting down to there. Now it'll just be a simple back and forth there, hopefully. But what I'm interested in the most is from the train track side of it. If I run a parallel line coming down, and then we get the same elevation just here to there, I'm then creating a bypass lane for trains that don't want to go to this train track that are coming from this direction. They can just simply filter straight through and go to there without having to stop there, right? So what I then do to make that more efficient is that becomes then the dedicated line, and then this one at some point then cuts in itself. So you see how that works then? You're either going straight down and cutting in, or that way and in. But it allows you to bypass the train track. And then this one, right, this is where it gets a little bit more juicy, so to speak. We will bring it from this point, and then we kind of bring it up by 10. Now, is that too far? That should be okay. But if I do a... Let's go for a solid 8x8 bend. Like that. And then run this along to there. I'll actually delete that again and delete that again. And then we'll do a 11. Oh, snap, that's the wrong one. We'll do 11 by an 11 bend here. To bring that a little bit closer. So then that allows us then to cut to here. We'll make it go both directions, so at least you can get export. They might even take a train from here, the goods, down here to get to there because it's quicker than driving. You never know. You never know in this game, but that's not my intention. It's just in case these guys want to share or kind of export from there to there or whatever. I ultimately could even make a outside connection here for the train network as well. So that would be a good little thing to kind of throw in. Now, if I do this by 10 there, by 10 there, it creates the little left and right situation, right? Which should be pretty handy. And then, talking about creating that outside connection, I don't know if I would, I wouldn't want it to kind of go through this. Which then would mean I create an additional connection line. Which probably wouldn't be a bad idea. And let me delete that. And... Right, where's the high point? Just there. It's a bit funky, isn't it? Alright, let me go back down to here. Right, I'll sort that... Oh, that's ugly. I was about to say I'll sort that out in a minute, but you know that's going to take ages. Right, and then can I do that connection? Yeah. So that could flip over there. It just kind of crisscrosses over. If you're coming from there, I'm going to bypass all of this. But then I could use this to be in completely separate... Ooh, okay, so it might... And a keyed going over the top of the road. That's an interesting point. So if I did that, that whole train track right now is elevated over the road. Which is really industrializing this whole area right now. Which allows me, and I don't think you can do an outside connection elevated. Okay, yes you can. Yes you can, boys. And then that will allow me... to have an outside connection which completely bypasses the whole of each of the 3 cargo lines right now, which is pretty handy. And I think what we'll do here is we'll elevate this up to 4, then up to 10 there, and then create. What happened? What happened, and why am I underground? Well, I'll bring it to there, then bring it in. So then these have an outside connection too. Yeah. Right, that's interesting. I find it quite cool as well. Even though I don't know how it's been supported, having that train track go above the whole of the road. I like the idea. It reminds me of like, is it Chicago, Detroit, or is it both of them cities that have that train line above? Like they have their metro above ground. It kind of reminds me of like that style. So let's just for now then get the power lines reconnected, the ones that we just now deleted, and where else did I delete them? I mean, these are all connected anyway, so I think we're all good. So what I haven't done right now is actually fully connect them to the rest of our train network. As it stands right now, they can export the goods outside of the region here, and they can also transfer goods to each of the 3 stations on their own. Now, I need water and power to this station. So power, it's easier to take it over that way. This one needs water as well. That one's okay. So it's got the power. It's got everything it needs right now. So we'll have a little fast forward session. And just kind of looking as an overview, we can ultimately see them. Which one's going to get used first. And by the looks of it, straight away it's this one. So it'll be nice to now see it. We'll give it some time to kind of simulate before I do any more touches up. Just ultimately where we can see now, with these new stuff added in, where do we get the issues? Where do the new issues now arise? And where do continuing issues still lay? And that's how then we can slowly problem solve at that point. So that is just a basic railway line for all the goods. We haven't even looked at doing all the processing buildings yet to turn it into flour. So what I will actually do is go back to our road, and I need to get the same road as this, which I believe it is. Is it this road? No, it's not that road. Is it? I actually don't know what road it was. It's the National Highway Road, this, isn't it? Yeah. So I've switched that up into a T-junction right now. Now, I'm not going to add an outside connection because we all know how that goes for the fishing industry. This creates a lot of unnecessary and unwanted traffic. But what I can do is actually use it to bring this road down. That road down to there, which connects up to this lane, which filters out a little bit easier, so they haven't got to go up to that junction. And by not going to that junction and coming down, also bypasses this junction and frees things up slightly. They might even now go down here to go up to do that, but I'd rather than do that because they're doing a right turn where they haven't got to cross over anyone else's path, which could be interesting. Right, so at the minute, it's still only this train station that's getting a couple of trucks heading in. So it'll take some time for them to, like, you know, fully update their new routes and understand what is now possible for this area. So while that happens then, let's actually take a look at setting up some of the production buildings. So we'll bring this out by 30, make it cut across, and then that becomes the initial loop or road network we have in. And then we're going to set up the shipping area over there. So let's go back to this style of road. I really like this style of road. And we'll come off that little T-junction here by 40, up by 20. So that's 40 there. Bam, bam. We'll get rid of them. And then we'll drop down some of the production buildings for the farming industry. So it's pretty much what produces flour. We have the... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. I was in the woodland industry there. So that's a slaughterhouse, which produces... Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot about that. We have pretty much two variations of animal production. The animal pasture and the slaughterhouse. I forgot about those. So that's the slaughterhouse. We have over here the milking parlour. And we have the cattle shed. They're all animal products. We have the flour mill here, which is what we need the majority of. So one. I have a free gap there. Why not? And so we got 4 in there. Obviously, I know they're going to need water and power and all that kind of jazz. But we'll just kind of... Oh, there we go. There's an actual train right there, boys. So that has come from Portburg, and it's now dropping off some goods on that freight train. So I'd like to see, when the vehicles come out of this, where are the vehicles heading? What has been the benefit of having an outside connection there to drop off at this cargo terminal? So, tractors, go into the large barn, I see. So are we now importing more goods? I'm not sure on that. We'll keep an eye on it. But let's get the remainder of these buildings down then. So we'll bring this down to 40. Bring that down to 40 as well. And we'll come off here. 30. Come off there a 30. And we'll just simply 10 there. A 10 there. So I'm trying to separate where the traffic's going. With all these buildings. Now, you then start to think, at some point it might be worth to set up a train line to this area too. And we're going to have to, because when we get the cargo harbour down, that also contains a train line, which we also need to connect it up. So we're going to try and kill another 2 birds with 1 stone with getting the goods from all this down to here. And what might be interesting, or we could try and attempt to do, is bring it off here, this bypass lane. So trains are going in different directions and whatnot, to where they want to go. Yeah, we'll play around with some ideas. I know I'm probably talking jibber jabber right now, but I've got kind of ideas in my head. We just got to implement them. So a couple of more flour mills right now. And we drop them kind of on the inside there. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 in total, which will turn that huge output of 144 tons of crops into some of it into flour at this point. Let's get the water set up then. So I'm going to bring that down to there. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. And we need power. Now, they're all not connected, but I'll bring the power line straight down from over here. Straight across to over there. And just simply across to there. Just so we got those now up and running. So then we want to take a look at the slaughterhouses. Now, is the slaughterhouse the one that produces the most? Yeah. But we have like a little bit of a cattle shed. I want to do a little bit of everything. Anyway, so let's see. Let's see. How big are the buildings? Alright, the slaughterhouse is the large one, so I get over on this side. So 1 there. 1 there. So we dropped 2 in. We got the milking parlours. We place 1 here. 1 there. 1 here. 1 there. And we have the little cattle sheds, which will then drop 1 there. There we go. So we've dotted them now around. So these junction of like here now could start to get overwhelmed, but that's when we like extend and add another road connection in. So from the water point of view, there we go. Push it over slightly, and then power. We bring that connection directly over, And that is already connected, right? Yeah, good stuff. So, it's then just a matter of time then. We just literally have to wait for the goods to get over here. Now, I'm going to actually create the connection there. So they can pass over. I could actually do that there as well. Or I could drop the train line here. But would that take too much off this? Maybe. I could actually just keep it on this road. But let's take a look at the shipping line anyway. Now, I know I don't have cargo ships coming down this bit of the river stretch. We have to add a new one in. So I won't be able to place that down until I do get one in. So let's set up a ship path then. Which, without the anarchy being on, that's important. So I can actually make sure the ships will kind of sail through this. Ooh, okay, so we have to actually add the anarchy here. Oh, do you know what? I don't think we can. It says water is required. And I think it's because it's a little bit too bumpy. Oh, okay, we're going to have to terraform. Oh, snap. That is quite bumpy. Right, we're going to have to terraform. And I think I was smoothing it more than anything. Let's pause. Alright, this is to create our little ship path right now. So if I smooth in all this down to here. There we go. Smoothing up to there as well. Is that enough to continue with the ship line? It says water's still required, but is that because I'm going to wait for the water to reset itself? Alright, we'll come from the opposite way for now then. Which, am I asking for a lot to create another Y connection here? Nah, I think we can get away with it. So then that is trying to take the central route. So it happens around where the bridge is. And at what point? There. And on the opposite way. So it's in this little section where it's classing for the water is required. So should I make a little bit of a lower trench? Alright, do a little bit of a lower trench around the bridge area. Smoothing all this out. And then let the water settle. So it'll change the water. I could reset the sea level, but I'll just kind of leave it for that for just a moment. And I think it'll be a good idea as well to get that highway road just simply coming down to here for the most part. And then hook up those small lanes leading over to it. Oh, wait. I've done the wrong road. I didn't mean that road. My bad. So then, obviously, vehicles can come straight down here and then go that way, rather than having to all come down here and kind of go around that junction. It alleviates it a little bit. Gives me a bit more space to work with. And we can hopefully all get set up. So you can see the shoreline's dipped a little bit. So are we able to now do the shipping line? No. Right, I'm going to reset the sea level. So is that now done? How is water still required? Now, do we have to delete the bridge? Alright, unfortunately, this is what it's now come to. And I still can't make that crossing. Is the game okay? I've made a deeper trench. Right, let me reset one more time. Aha, there we go. Finally, we got it done, boys. Right, sweet. And we do have an outside connection. Yes, we do. So let me just pause a minute. Let me get all this reconnected right now. What a shambles that was. That's a 4-laner. I need a 3-laner. Why is that elevating? I don't know why that's done that. Okay. Oh, I think it's good. I've got that set on, isn't it? Yeah, elevated. Right. Anyway. It's the industrial road. I'm trying to figure out what road types I used as well. Train track. And let me just quickly get these heights the right way. Oh, but those are not the same height. It's all over the place, isn't it? I need to come back and sort that bridge out. I'll leave it for now because it's literally pulling me away from what I'm trying to accomplish here. And that is now adding in our little, where is it? Shipping. Cargo harbour is what I want. So if we get it placed, you know, reasonably there. And then we'll work with this. So straight away, we're actually going to unhook this road. And we'll keep it to a 2-lane industrial road. I know we could... Oh, hang on, I got the bridges on. Going in that direction. And then if we go with a 10 by 10 bend there. We do a 10 by 10 bend there. Now... 10 by 10 could be a little bit too much. But I'm creating something beautiful. Beautiful. And we'll lead it off. Should I do it on this? Or should I create like a separate junction altogether? Do you reckon that will become overworked? But then if I do the train network correct, it shouldn't be... I shouldn't have too many issues. So, if I picked the hot spot there to connect up to there. Oh, hold on. It was meant to be this one. Is that slightly diagonal? I know it's not going to be perfect because this is slightly off. But that's more of a 90-degree there. Okay. Delete that back a bit. So this is a design I've never actually done before, and I'm already looking quite excited for it. So we pretty much want to... And I'll start there, go up. And bend it in. Up. And bend it in. But obviously this one is flipped around the opposite way. And because it's a 4-lane road, we then go bam, we then go bam. And then we do some movements. Which I think ultimately that's alright. It looks really weird, but at the same time really, really cool. So from a lane management point of view, no one's shipping over one another. They can simply get down a whole lot easier. No issues, boys. So the only issue I could probably see is these junctions here, but we'll just kind of see how it all plays out. If I do the train network correctly, then I shouldn't really get any issues. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So back into play mode then. We'll get these hooked up over here real quick. Is that connected? Yep. It's going to need power real quick. So run that over to there. Is that enough for the power to work? Should be. Bam. Yes, it is. So we're pretty much set up at that point. I can see trains over here moving about. Has the traffic been alleviated? Yeah, no. Let's set up now then. The train line leading down in this direction. So bringing it off that, we'll start this around about here. So I know the direction it's kind of going in. Bring it to there, and then we'll do a 10 by 10 connection. Get them power lines connected over again. There we go. So it comes off the bypass route to get down to there, which is no good for these guys because they can't switch over. No good for these guys here. Only works for this one because that's the one that can actually come in and continue to go down. So where we have a little crossover there, we're going to have to create a couple more additional... That's not even connected. A couple more additional crossover routes. None of them were connected there. What's going on? It's because of this. Who turns... How does that automatically turn off that node snapping? It's kind of annoying. Right, by 10. It's got to do this power lines again. So yeah, we got to do the little crossover lines for the railway network. So I'll make it happen, you know, a little bit into it. So we don't notice it too much. And then the same over here. Like it doesn't cause any issues at any points in the line. Well, you would think you would think it wouldn't, but you never know in this game. So it allows them to do them little crossovers there, which allows us to continue. All right, power straight over. And that ultimately allows us to, like I said, bring the train line down, which will eventually connect to here. But we're going to have another route that comes over this area. So we'll do the... And I think it might be a better idea to do a one-way system. Right, the majority of traffic is coming down on these roads, so let's kind of bring it off. This here. So if I came down by 8... by 20 and back up. Is that enough? Through that in the middle. Yeah, should be okay. And then with our train network, so we'll go back to what we were originally doing. Bringing this down, which we'll bring it to there and then we can elevate it down. This will elevate up to 10, and we'll do it from there. And I'm gonna keep it all elevated, so I can build stuff underneath if I need to, or if I want to, anything like that. A little bit of water across, power going straight across. So it enables us to transfer goods down to the production buildings, and by doing this, and it also allows us the production buildings to throw goods onto the train to then potentially export them. So let's go a little bit closer, and we do a 10 by 10. So it can go in both directions. We can export to the edge of the map. I still got to get it connected to the outside world as well, which is going to be pretty sweet to see. You can now see the vehicles all coming in. Slowly but surely. We have a huge demand, but once we connect it up via the train network, hopefully that demand in actual vehicles declines. Right, we bring this down to Earth. And where does the bend take place? A 15 by a 15 bend. That's asking for trouble, isn't it? Like that. So I've got to do a load of landscaping. We'll leave it for now, just to the point where this out. No, it's actually all, everyone's all connected, which is great stuff. We've connected the whole train network around this whole area. I just got to connect this to the outside world, and I'm. It's gonna be interesting what type of connection I do there. But buildings are burned. I need more services around here, don't I? So if I get a little fire station right now, which I should really be... Should I place it by the little community over here or a little bit more further in? We'll do it over here. So keep into these roads. I do another road coming up. Yeah, we'll have that one connect in. Well, I drop in like the small medical centre, the small fire depot, the small police station right now. And this is all the stuff that is going to be used by the farming industry. I could also redo a little garbage area, couldn't I? So maybe I do like a small recycling centre, but it does cause a little bit of pollution. That one called... Wait, is it ground pollution? Yeah. This one over here, oh, it's a large recycling centre. What about this one? Recycling centre. It just does noise pollution. So I'll throw that in there. It's only noise pollution it really does. No ground pollution to affect the farming. But a little bit of garbage for the needs of this area. There we go. So we might now start seeing a reduction in vehicles going around our little... I don't know what you would call that. It's pretty cool though. Yeah, a reduction in vehicles as now they can potentially export them via the train. So that's going to be interesting. We got a train actually filled to the brim being exported right now, which is good to see. Another train there, which is heading down in this. Oh, is that 2 trains? Oh snap! It's 2 trains heading down in this direction. So where's this one going? To the cargo hub. And where's this one going? Also to the cargo hub. So we're exporting via ship. Now we got our first ship arriving. Ship's now coming down this river too. It's working, boys. It's all working right now. And let's finally get the train network connected. Now let me see where this goes across in a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to filter it from one of these sides. And bring that up to there. And then where does this borderline look like it's going to connect to it? So 13 by 11. So we'll go 11 by 11. For that bend there. And we're going to make it go underground. So bring it down to -10. To there, and then bring it back up to Earth. Boom. And then we do like a little spiral connect, like spin it round so it goes in the direction that we want it to go into. So if I come up by a 10 by 10, we go a little bit straight by 10. And then we do another 10 by 10, and then we'll come out by 3. We'll get a solid 10. Oh, I messed up that train connection there. So that's how we'll bring the goods over. Pretty simple, nothing too fancy there. I mean, you might as well keep it simple, really. Ain't too much you got to worry about in that whole connection. So yeah, it looks pretty good, that doesn't it? So it allows now we can export over. So what that has done, you may not realise, but it's now opened up the whole of SnowTown to the products from the farming industry. The flour and the animal products and the crops. Not only are we making nearly 50,000, I can't believe how much money we're making from this farming industry. It's kind of ridiculous. What it's now allowed us to do is enable SnowTown to have access to those products, so I can then start to build all the unique factories that then rely and need those products, which is pretty good. But I'm so surprised with how much profit we're making off this area. Now, I originally wanted a few episodes ago to use the unique factories as a way to kind of close the deficit that we're losing in SnowTown. But the way that things are turned around, I'm making exponential profits right now. This is kind of crazy. And off an industry on its own, 143,000 in total profit off the entire industry. And it's the farming industry that's making the most money. We're actually losing money on the ore industry. So, go figure. We've done wonders and beauties on this whole industry right now. So, as I thought, yeah, we've now seen a reduction in vehicles coming down here. So, we're starting to see the trains now bringing over here. We might actually start seeing a little bit of a reduction in vehicles in general, to be honest with you. Got a little bit of an issue on the road net connection here, which we would need to sort out. So, it's more vehicles heading into this road, isn't it? So if we go back to my asymmetrical roads and drop one here. Flip it around. There we go. So if we just kind of sort it out where, you know, that's for that one, that's for that one. So those two are not tripping over one another. We are going to get vehicles tripping over one another anyway. But if it just slightly alleviates it a little bit. And I could do giveaway signs. But we'll just see how that initially gets tackled. Not enough raw material, so are we needing more crops at this point? Have we gone from like having a ridiculous... Yeah, because we're starting to import a few as well. We got a lot of tonnage. But I got to give it time to settle down. I got to give it time for the shipments to get here and there. But this is going to be really interesting to see what now happens. So not enough more raw materials. I probably need to add in some more storage buildings. But I'm going to leave it now. I ain't going to touch it as much. Because I ultimately just want to see... As time simulates, we give it a good 15-20 minutes to simulate. Which it will pretty much be next episode now. We come back and take a look at it. I can ultimately see then what issues then come from this, because we've changed it up a lot right now. Any trains coming from here? I'd like to see a train tackle that. I gotta sort that bridge out as well, because I'm gonna have to elevate it as well in general for the ships to pass through, because right now the back of the ship hits it. So I gotta elevate that bridge a bit more. There's a train now officially going through, and where is it going? So it's transporting. Okay. So it's from out of town. So that's something else I kind of forgot. That we're gonna have trains out of town just coming through here anyway, and it's going all the way over to here. Damn, that's a little bit of a journey, isn't it? That's pretty sweet though, guys. We've got some sweet little connections on the rise right now. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section down below. It is pretty good. We're going to add in some more production buildings because we're starting to import a little bit right now. Going to add in some more storage buildings for bits and bobs of the area. And I might add in some more worker barracks as well to start upping the efficiency a little bit more as well. But this has been a huge success. I'm so impressed. The only thing we're now missing, right, is transportation to get people over here. Now, someone suggested, Seniac, now you've actually hooked up all of SnowTown and all the industries via a train line. Is it time we get passenger trains in to get the workers to those areas? That's actually a pretty good idea. The only thing that we don't have hooked up is a train line connecting both sides of the river. Now, I don't think we need that as much because we can ship the goods over by ships. That would be interesting. I know the ore industry right now is always struggling for plastics and metals. Plastics come from the oil industry. Metals come from this industry. We need to actually ramp up this a bit more and work on this. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how it ticks along right now, but I'm really, really impressed with the farming industry. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful right now. I can't see any major issues, no traffic issues. I think we've got it down. There's a few little bits and bobs we could probably sort out. But it was a good shout having double lanes coming down here to bypass the whole industry for traffic in general, coming in and out. And this one-way system here, which I thought would be a little bit of an issue, seems to be doing pretty good. No issues over here. This one, not really any issues. It's just traffic filtering in and out. It's just a lot of vehicles, but there's no big issues right now. Over here, looking pretty good too. It's solid, mate. It's absolutely solid right now. And I think on that note, we're going to end it for here. Hope you did enjoy this episode, guys. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you well soon. So, good.